I'll call the meeting to order. And before we get started, let's introduce everyone on this meeting. Sandy Brock, when I call your name, please confirm that you can hear me by verifying that you are present. We'll start with the commissioners. Jonathan.
Here, I can hear you.
Patrick.
Here, I can hear you.
And thank you. And Betsy.
Here.
And our staff, we have Jan.
Here.
And hopefully we'll have Leah back soon, who's our agent. I'm also going to just go through the speakers. So again, just unmute yourself and say you're here just to make sure we don't have any audio or video issues. So the speakers for 31 George Hill Road, Lisa Nelson.
Here.
Thank you. For 218 Worcester Street, Michael Knoll.
Here.
And then for Meadow Lane, Norm Hill. I didn't see him on yet, so we'll keep going. And for 200 Westboro Road, Jean Poteet.
Jean Poteet here.
Oh, did I actually say it correctly?
Yes, you did.
All right. And then,
Good job.
yeah, I'm not usually very good at that. Oh, Leah showed up and then she disappeared. So let me finish up our opening remarks here. This open meeting of the Conservation Commission is being conducted remotely via Zoom pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order as extended on June 15th, 2021 and February 12th, 2022. Access information for the public has been provided on the town website. Please note that this meeting is being recorded. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. If you're using a dial-in telephone feature, you can mute yourself by pressing *6. As chair, I'll introduce each speaker on the agenda. Please note that you will not have screen sharing privileges, but staff can display any visuals per your cue. After speakers conclude their remarks, I will invite each commissioner by name to provide any comments, questions, or motions. After the commissioners have spoken, I will allow public comment to be spoken by participants. Participants must use the raise hand feature by clicking on the hand icon at the bottom right of the Zoom menu bar to indicate they would like to speak. If you're using a dial in by telephone feature, please press *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute you when you are called upon. Participants who raise their hands will be recognized one at a time by their name and then will be promoted to speak. Public comments will be followed by commissioner and applicant responses. Finally, each vote will be conducted by a roll call vote. As a reminder, the commission is concerned with state and town wetlands and stormwater regulations. Concerns outside this purview need to be addressed by the appropriate board. For example, road conditions must be addressed with select board and traffic concerns must be addressed with the planning board. All right. Okie doke. So, Leah's coming back again. Let's see if she makes it all the way back this time. Oh, there you go.
There she is.
We can hear you.
I don't know what is going on with my work computer. It won't reboot.
Okay. Just to let you know, we've done the opening and read the opening remarks, just to let everyone know.
Okay.
And we're about to start probably with the public hearing. Can we do that at any time since it's a continuance?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start with that. All righty. Pursuant to the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Grafton Wetlands Protection Bylaw, the Grafton Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing to act upon a request for determination of applicability for a resource area delineation at 12 Clearview Street in Grafton, Mass. The applicant has requested a continuance to 6/14. I actually don't think anyone is here to speak to that.
No.
So do we have a motion for continuance?
I make a motion for continuance for 12 Clearview Street.
To May 17th. And do I have a second?
To June 14th.
Oh, June 14th. I'm sorry. Today's May 17th. Thank you for that. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call vote. Betsy.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Jonathan.
Yes.
And I am also a yes. The motion carries. For action items, we'll leave the meeting minutes to the end since we have quite a few people here. Any particular order, Leah, or just go down the list?
We had a request to take 218 Worcester Street first, which is the third action item.
Sure. So we'll do request for certificate of compliance for 218 Worcester Street. Leah, want to just give us a heads up on that?
Sure. So this order previously got a partial COC for the building infrastructure, but left the planting area outstanding because it wasn't complete at the time. So they're returning now because they've fixed that area and they've satisfied all their conditions.
Okie doke. Is anyone here to speak to that? And do they have anything to say?
I believe that's Michael Knoll, but I don't know if he has anything to add.
Oh, I just attending the meeting. I don't know what.
Okay, that's fine. Because you're here, I'm just asking.
Yes.
So, and Leah, you have the recommendation that it's all been stabilized and to issue the COC.
Correct.
Do I have a motion to issue the COC?
I make a motion to issue the COC for 218 Worcester Street.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'll do a roll call vote. Jonathan,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Betsy.
Yes.
I am also a yes. The motion passes. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone, any other particular one that we want to do since people are here?
I'm guessing Jean Poteet is here for 200 Westboro Road.
All right. Want to just fill us in on what's going on with this?
Yeah, this was for their swine unit 2 expansion project. All their conditions were met, and we previously got a final inspection report from an engineer. And
Okay.
I don't know what happened exactly that we didn't end up issuing at the time, but we're ready to.
So I got to ask the question, is this for Tufts?
Yes.
Okay, I need to recuse myself as the company I work in, also I'm a partial owner, does quite a bit of work for Tufts. So I need to recuse myself. And so I'm just going to randomly pick Jonathan to take over for me for this particular one. And I will now recuse myself.
Pick me? Okay. I'm sorry, Leah. What's the background on this one again?
So this was their swine unit number 2 expansion project that was done in the past. We got a final report from their engineer, but a COC wasn't issued at that time, even though it should have been. I'm not really sure what happened. That was quite a few years ago, but everything's been satisfied and complete and stabilized.
Okay. So do I have a motion?
I make a motion to issue the COC for 200 Westboro Road, swine unit for Tufts University, Cummings School of Veterinary Medicine.
I'll second that.
Second. All right, thank you. I've got a motion and a second. I'll take a roll call vote. Betsy,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
and I'm also a yes. The motion passes. We're going to issue the COC for. Thank you.
Thank you. One question. We, because of turnover at the Tufts Cummings School, never got a COC for the original swine building. This was an addition. And my understanding, and I'm not a lawyer, was that if you issue the COC for the addition, it would supersede the essentially the lack of the COC for the original building, because the addition encompasses both the original building and the addition. Is you know, what I'm saying is we may have to come back later if there's a disagreement about that. But I just wanted to, you know, the purpose of this is to sort of try to get true up our past historic records so that everything is correctly recorded with the registry and approved and all that sort of thing.
Would you be able to send us that file number for the previous one? We can look into it for you.
Oh, Jean, you muted yourself.
You're muted, Jean.
I inadvertently muted myself. 164225
Okay.
was the earlier one, and there was also a reference to 164482, but I don't know what that refers to.
Okay. We can take a look into it and let you know what we find.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it, and thank you to the board for approving this tonight.
Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Sandy, if you can hear me, you're welcome to come back.
Sandy.
I need the bat symbol.
I think she muted because she took her headset off.
She'll be
Keep
back.
on going, Jonathan. You're doing great.
Oh, boy. No, I'm
Oh,
not.
boy. Is there a order, Leah, for the next?
I was gonna ask, we have Lisa Nelson on here. Which action item
Sandy,
were you on here
good.
for?
Oh, jeez.
Come back, little Sheba. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you for the hand signals.
You've been like yelling for you, and I said your headset is off.
Right. No, I was, truly trying to recuse myself. Sorry.
You did a good job.
Okay.
All
All right, Leah. Next
So
up.
I was just asking Lisa Nelson what item they were here for, so we could take them next.
Yes, for 31 George Hill Road.
Okay.
It's a request for a minor change and an extension of permits 164-994 and WP 814.
Sure. Do you want me to give my little update, Sandy?
Yes, please.
So this is a single family house project. They are now looking to have a gravel driveway instead of bituminous concrete, and as well as a smaller house footprint. They're also requesting an extension, but I did want to ask how many years you guys were looking for. We can do between 1 and 3.
I guess 3 just to be safe. I'm not quite sure with the pandemic. I know for us, things have taken way longer than we would have ever imagined. Just even getting the architectural plans done. So I guess it'd be better to request a 3-year.
That's
Okay.
fine.
That's all I had for that one.
Okay. And so Leah goes out and does a report, and then basically she makes a recommendation that we look at. So do I have a motion for the minor change and extension?
I make a motion for the minor change and extension for 31 George Hill Road.
Great. We'll do a roll call vote.
I'll
Pat-
second that.
Oh, yes, sorry. Very good. Do I have a second?
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Betsy,
Yes.
Jonathan,
Yes.
and Patrick may have a surrogate there to say yes.
Yes.
Thanks. And I am also a yes. The motion passes.
We call those
Alrighty.
helpers around these parts. Sandy.
They're helpers. Okay.
Yes.
The next generation.
My 6-year-old helper comes down and helps down in the office sometimes. So
Not a problem. We've got, with my team, we have an explosion of babies, which is the best thing, is to have another kind of very new future engineer join our meetings and so forth. So, all right. Now that I'm totally lost track of where we are on our agenda, what's up next, Leah?
I see we have a couple attendees from the land trust, so they're probably looking for the chapter 61 notification for 173 and 183 Upton Street. If you wanted to jump to that.
That sounds great. So we finally got the notification.
Yeah, so this is for 2 of the 4 lots that you guys, we permitted 2 I think 2 or 3, out of the latest chunk that they divided into 4. So this
Yes.
notification that we got was for 2 of the 4. The purchase price is 300,000. I have asked around town hall if we're gonna start up any kind of interdepartmental meetings with interested parties. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten an answer yet, but I assume that's something we'll probably do since this is a piece the town was interested in. And then just for a note for you guys, the 120 days would be September 7, just to keep that in mind. I don't know if you guys want to talk amongst yourselves or promote those 2 to speak, possibly if they have anything they want to say.
Why don't you ask them if they do want to speak, and then I mean, I think,
Yeah, Rob Aberg raised his hand to speak.
okay,
There. Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, and do you need to see me? I don't see a button for video now. I don't mind, it's just, I don't want to be rude, but I don't want to jump my abilities.
You don't have to. It's optional for you. It's more mandatory for the commissioners.
Okay. No, I'm just saying I can't find a button.
It's usually the little camera, but that's fine. Go ahead.
I'll get one. Okay, I'll keep going. Yeah, so this is basically a continuation starting from the 2007 Open Space and Recreation Plan, where there was a corridor and a goal to protect all of Silver Lake, not only for Grafton's Beach, Grafton's water supply, but it also goes down to Upton's Wellfield, just as it exits past William Street into Upton. That goes, what's the next street into Upton there? It starts with a G, I think. But anyway, so we would like to continue protecting that land. And so the land trust in the past has been in favor of an acquisition. If there's a proposal from the Conservation Commission, for example, that the Grafton Land Trust might be interested in holding a conservation restriction, I can put that in front of the board and get an answer for you, or any other proposal or option you guys are interested in.
All right, thank you. I mean, obviously, we've tracked this parcel also just because we knew, because the town has already purchased some of the other land around Silver Lake. And so this was something that was on our radar to keep an eye on. And so we finally have the notification for the Chapter 61. So Leah, next steps are we can have a discussion here, and then we can take a vote, make a recommendation that the selectmen move to look to purchase the property.
Correct.
Okay, so as far as the commissioners go, does anyone have any questions or where this is? Or do you want to bring up a quick map of it, Leah, if you have it, or Jan, if you have it, just so that we can see which lots they are? But I think we're all pretty familiar where it is.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I know this predates me being on the commission, but I'm very familiar with the area.
Okay.
So if you go, Jan, if you go to GIS, it's not going to be broken out by those lots yet. I noticed that this afternoon, but if you look through the purchase and sales, they put the A&R plan in there. If that's a little easier for people to reference.
Yeah. So for me, I think this is something we were waiting for, and I think it's a recommendation that we would like to make to the selectmen to begin that process.
If I could.
Yes.
Yes. Just note that, we'll see it here, that it's 2 of 4 lots. So we're not done. This is, what is it, 1 and 2 or something, or?
Yeah, it's this one here and these in the one adjacent to it.
Yeah, and so the town owns and the land trust has a CR on the 4 to the north, which is down in this view.
Yep.
Those four lots were purchased, and the CR was recorded in 2020, and it'll be a simple matter for us, just because all the verbiage will be very similar, except for the specific details, that we could file again very quickly.
Okay. I'll do a quick roll call vote, and if let anyone know, let anyone give any kind of comments or any questions. So Patrick, any questions on this one?
Is it just north and west of the top of Silver Lake, or the north of looking at a map?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I thought, but I couldn't get it the right.
I think it's only the west, the northwest was already purchased.
Okay,
So, yeah, so these are the lots that we just did a notice of intent for.
right, okay. No, I was just trying to make sure I had the right thing in my head. I don't have any other comments besides that. I would agree on moving forward with this.
Okay. Jonathan?
Don't have any questions or comments.
Okay. Betsy?
No questions.
All right. So can I have a motion to vote to recommend to the select board to consider, is it considering purchasing it? Because we don't have really authority. We just make a recommendation. Correct, Leah?
I think in the past we've worded it that recommend purchasing or pursuing the purchase of, I believe is how we worded it.
Okay,
in the
so that
past.
would be the motion. So,
I make a motion to pursue purchasing the lots in 173 and 183 Upton Street to the selectmen.
do I have a second?
Second,
We have a motion and a second. I'll do a roll call vote. Patrick,
yes.
Jonathan,
Yes.
Betsy,
Yes.
I am also a yes. So Leah, you'll just put a letter together with this recommendation and send it
Yep.
off to the select board. Okay,
Mhm.
very good. I don't know if Robert or Ken has anything else to say. That's kind of our part of what we need to do to get this going.
I don't have anything extra. Thank you very much. And
Okay.
keep us in the loop if there's an assignment. We don't want to be the lone pole in the tent.
I actually appreciate the fact that if there is a CR that the trust, is willing to do that. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more dialogue around these lots. So thank you.
Okay, great.
All right. Next up, Leah.
If you want to backtrack to the minutes, we could do that and then just go down the list of what's left.
Okay. Does anyone have any comments, questions, suggestions on the meeting minutes for April 19th? If no one has any comments or questions, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of the April 19th Conservation Commission meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second,
I have a motion and a second. I'll do a roll call vote. Patrick,
yes.
Jonathan,
Yes.
and Betsy. Did not hear you, Betsy.
I'm sorry, yes.
Thank you. I'm also a yes. The motion carries. All right, so let's see here. So we did 31 George Hill. We did 218 Worcester.
Yep.
So now we request for a new original order of conditions, a certificate of compliance
Yep.
for Meadow Lane Culvert.
So this one came in looking for a COC, but then we discovered that the order was never recorded. So for the sake of consistency and the sake of having the ongoing conditions live on the registry, I would suggest just voting to issue a new original order tonight.
Okay,
And then when they come back with proof it was recorded, we can reconsider or reopen the possibility of a COC.
okay. That sounds good. Do I have a motion to issue an original OOC for DEP 164-902?
I make a motion to request a new original OOC for DEP 164-902.
Do I have a second?
Second,
Roll call vote. Patrick,
yes.
Jonathan, and Betsy.
Yes.
I am also a yes. The motion carries. 69 Sunrise.
We need to reschedule that one. They don't have their no disturb signage in place. And they're not very happy about having to do so. So they might come in June to discuss that with you guys, but either way, they're not available this evening. So
Okay, so we don't need to do a motion. We'll just have no action taken, correct?
So only because I read that we should always take action on COCs, I think we should just do a quick vote to reschedule it because then it's not, no action was taken.
Okay, no, that's fine. Do I have a motion to reschedule to hear the request for certificate of compliance for 69 Sunrise?
I make a motion to reschedule the request for certificate of compliance for 69 Sunrise Ave.
Second,
Second,
roll call vote, Patrick,
yes.
Jonathan,
Yes.
and Betsy.
Yes.
I'm also a yes. The motion carries. 810 Rittenhouse Lane.
So this was a town project for a sewer line extension and they had to replicate some wetlands. They're done with the project, everything's stable, and we have reports from their wetland scientists about the replication area. The species have been established over 75% wetland species, so I recommend issuing the COC.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the certificate of compliance for, I just lost my place. For
8 and 10 Rittenhouse Lane.
10 Rittenhouse Lane.
Do I have a second?
Second,
A roll call vote, Patrick,
yes.
Jonathan,
Yes.
Betsy.
Yes.
I am also a yes, the motion carries.
I have two small updates for you guys beyond what was on the agenda.
Okay,
So the first is 95 North Street, where we're building the passive recreation park. So I wanted to give you guys some dates of upcoming events, should you wish to attend. So we have our first community meeting this Thursday at 6:30 on Zoom. So that one is more oriented toward the public and receiving input on what folks want to see there. Then June 1st, we're going to have a working group meeting at the town hall. So I got them to shift that one towards the evening from 4 to 6, so that if any of you guys wanted to stop by, I had it extended into the evening. The consultant's going to be out at the town hall the majority of that day working on the design and getting input from the working group, which is staff of interested departments like public safety, DPW, parks, and rec, and me. And so if you guys wanted to stop by at the end of that day, they would have some tentative designs they're working on, and you could throw in some input there, separate from the public process. Then we would be back at community meeting 2 on June 16, again at 6:30 on Zoom. So you guys are more than welcome to attend any or all of those, and I can email those dates out tomorrow as well as a reminder.
Yeah, that would be great.
yeah, I'd appreciate the email. Will it have, do you have the Zoom links set up yet, or is that to be determined?
Yeah, we have one for this Thursday, so I can put that in there. The others will be forthcoming as we get closer.
That would be great.
Well, I shouldn't say the others will be forthcoming. The other community one will be forthcoming, but that working group one is in person.
Okay, yeah, but if you just
Yeah.
do all the dates, so I can put placeholders in my calendar,
Same.
and then if you've got the Zoom for this week,
Sure.
okay. Is that purely Zoom for this Thursday?
Yes, the community, at least community one is purely Zoom. We might explore hybrid or something for the second one in June. That working group is in person, and I did go ahead and just post an agenda just in case a quorum of you guys end up wanting to attend, so that we're covered.
Okay. Oh, absolutely. Very good. Yeah, because we just have to be careful of the open meeting law.
Yep. Does anyone have any questions on that before I move on to something else?
I'm good.
All right.
Leah, that's great.
Awesome. So the last thing I have, and I'm going to request that Jan pull up our lovely photos, is that on Hennessy, one of our conservation properties, we had the culvert that the trail crosses severely wash out this past winter and into the spring. And so now we don't have access to get the brush hog across and continue to mow the fields that are up in the back.
Yikes.
So I have been working with Art and Jeff to try to piece together what the best solution is, what we should do here, what that filing is going to look like, where the funding might come from, et cetera. So for now, we have a sign posted that the trail's closed, pass at your own risk. We put out some posts to try to notify the public of the same idea. While I'm working in the background on what the solution's going to be. Art also discussed some possibilities that we could put in place for an interim solution, just to be able to get possibly the brush mower, but at least people over more safely. That could possibly fall under an emergency certification.
Yep.
I'm just trying to nail down with DPW what they have in terms of materials and what's possible. So once I nail down the plan with them, I'll probably go ahead and, depending on the timing of the next meeting, possibly do the emergency certification myself and have you guys ratify it at the following meeting if the timing doesn't quite work. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that this is out there. If you get any questions, we're working on it.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that.
Leah, does the culvert need to be replaced, or you just need to put like crushed stone and fill around the pipe to reestablish the pathway?
So that pipe is in pretty rough shape. There's like almost no bottom to it anymore, and it's sunk seriously into the ground over the years.
It's an old metal corrugated pipe. Yeah, it looks a little tough.
Yeah, so we would be looking to take that out, whether we put something in its place, like maybe a 3-sided box culvert, or maybe we just stabilize the banks and have a bridge over top. Jeff's kind of exploring all those possibilities for us, and he's going to give us a breakdown of pros and cons and costs, and Art's willing to help as well with delineating and helping with the filing and all those things.
Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, it's a replacement. So, it's just, I'm sure it's very old, and you can see it's deformed in certain areas. So it probably needs to get replaced, but the open bottom culvert may be the way to go. But it's still a cost to do it.
Yeah, right. And along that vein, I did have, at town meeting, they recategorized, I think is the right word, the balance of the funds that we have left from the barn demolition, which is about 9,000. I had them reclassify what that can be spent on, so that it's now broader language, so it can be spent on anything to improve the Hennessy property, so that we can possibly use that 9 or part thereof to fix this. So we have that. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you can kind of find out from a just a pure procedural standpoint, what the bidding process is, because if you put this out to bid, it's going to be, I think it will shock people how much it'll be to replace it. Many more times that 9,000. So I'm wondering if there's a way that, I'm just trying to think of a creative way to get maybe DPW, or I don't know, some other way of buying materials, but having the town do it somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
What that would look like.
Right. We've been spitballing ideas between us, DPW, Art, and Jeff. We're really just waiting on Jeff's write-up of what our options are and what those costs are before we figure out the pathway forward. But DPW is definitely willing to help. It's just a matter of what.
Yeah. But even buying like, an open bottom culvert to go in there, I think you might be shocked at how much money that would be.
Right. So, yeah, I know the 9 isn't going to go too far, but I figured, it's a help considering what we have, in our other line items. So
right, but at least if maybe it can buy materials. I don't know if there's any other way to procure that, but
yeah.
Again, it's just kind of some thoughts. So
No, I appreciate that.
Okay.
That's all I have for you guys.
All right. Does anyone else have anything? Then that means one thing. We have
I
one
make a
motion left.
motion to adjourn.
There it is. Do I have a second?
Second,
Roll call vote. Patrick,
yes.
Jonathan,
Yes.
and Betsy.
Yes.
I am also a yes. And the only thing I say is go Celtics.